GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, I'm Lauren Dupuis. Today we'll break down the province's new independent observer overseeing the Montreal police racism probe, plus the heavy storm that's flooding the West Island and causing basement woes. Traffic's moving at a crawl with bridge restrictions. Over to you, Ryan.
The Toronto Scepters announced signing forward Jamie Lee Rattray ahead of the upcoming season, adding experience to their roster.
Victor confirmed re-signing 2 Quebec forwards, securing their contracts for another year and strengthening the team's local talent base.
The signings were reported earlier this week, marking significant roster moves for the Scepters as they prepare for the new campaign.
All right, let's get into it. The morning headlines continue with market milestones, upcoming events, and community updates across Montreal. Good morning, Montreal. Here's the news that matters most as you head out: traffic updates, weather changes, and the key developments shaping our day. Yesterday, the Quebec Minister of Domestic Security, Ian Lafreniere, announced the appointment of an independent observer to oversee the ongoing probe into racism allegations within the city police. The observer will monitor all investigative steps, ensuring transparency and accountability as the provincial inquiry examines claims of discriminatory conduct by officers. The move follows a series of complaints that have drawn public scrutiny and prompted the provincial government to intervene. Officials said the observer will have unrestricted access to evidence, interview witnesses, and report findings directly to the minister. The initiative aims to restore confidence in law enforcement practices and to demonstrate that the province will not tolerate systemic bias. The decision was welcomed by several community groups calling for stronger oversight. The appointment marks a new phase in the investigation, with the observer expected to begin work immediately.
Marking 15 years this June, the Marché Public de Pointe-aux-Trembles celebrated its anniversary with a bustling Saturday market that draws thousands of visitors from the East End. The market originated from a citizen petition aimed at revitalizing the neighborhood, and today it stands as a vibrant hub where local food producers showcase seasonal goods, from fresh vegetables to artisanal cheeses. Vendors use the Saturday stalls to test new products and connect directly with shoppers, creating a lively atmosphere of community exchange. Organizers said the market's growth reflects strong neighborhood support and the enduring appeal of locally sourced food. As the summer season unfolds, the market continues to operate every Saturday, reinforcing its role as a focal point for residents seeking fresh produce and a sense of place. Families often linger over coffee, and occasional live music adds to the festive feel.
Yesterday, a powerful storm swept through the West Island, dumping intense rain that quickly turned streets into rivers and filled basements with water. Several main arteries, including the Boulevard des Sources and the Lakeshore Road corridor, were temporarily closed as floodwaters rose beyond curb height. Residents reported power outages affecting dozens of homes, and emergency crews responded to trapped vehicles and flooded homes throughout the area. The City of Montreal issued warnings urging people to avoid travel on flooded routes and to stay clear of downed power lines. Officials said the storm's rainfall totals far exceeded normal June averages, overwhelming drainage systems that struggled to keep pace. Cleanup efforts are now underway, with utility workers restoring electricity and municipal crews pumping water from affected basements. Preliminary assessments indicate significant property damage and the possibility of lingering water in low-lying units.
Quebec's chief coroner has announced a public inquiry into the wave of freight truck fatalities that have plagued the province's highways since last year. The investigation, ordered in October, will examine the circumstances of each death and evaluate whether current regulations adequately protect motorists. At the same time, the coroner's office is drafting legal reforms aimed at tightening load limits, improving driver fatigue monitoring, and enforcing stricter speed controls for commercial vehicles. Officials say the move follows a string of high-profile collisions that left families grieving and raised questions about existing safety standards. The inquiry will be open to testimony from industry groups, road safety experts, and affected families, and its findings are expected to shape provincial policy over the coming months. Authorities hope the combined review and legislative push will curb the tragic toll on Quebec's roads.
NASA announced today that the next Roman space telescope will carry 2 cameras engineered by Quebec firms. One is located in Montreal, the other in Quebec City, and both bring decades of expertise in high-precision optics. The observatory, slated for launch later this year, is designed to map dark energy, hunt for distant exoplanets, and explore a range of cosmic phenomena. Engineers from the 2 Quebec companies worked with NASA scientists to meet the telescope's demanding precision and sensitivity requirements. The cameras will sit at the heart of the instrument, capturing ultra-sharp images that will help researchers chart the expansion of the universe and identify worlds beyond our solar system. This partnership highlights the province's growing role in cutting-edge space technology and adds a Canadian touch to a mission that aims to answer some of the biggest questions in astrophysics. Coming up, we break down Liberal candidate René Verrett's withdrawal from the Louis Hebert race. Stay, we will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back. Let's jump straight into the headlines, then I'll turn it over to Ryan Mercer for the local stories you need to hear today.
René Verrett has pulled out of the Liberal slate in the Louis Hebert riding, announcing his withdrawal on June 20th. The decision comes roughly 1.5 months before the provincial election, leaving the party scrambling to name a replacement. Party officials said they will convene quickly to select a new candidate, but no timeline has been set. Voters in the riding now face an unexpected change as they prepare to head to the polls, with local campaign offices already updating signage and outreach plans. Local volunteers are now being asked to shift their canvassing routes and focus on introducing any new face that emerges. The Liberal leadership emphasized that the party remains committed to its platform in the area, even as it works to fill the vacancy. Election watchers note that the timing could reshape the dynamics of the contest in this traditionally competitive district.
Authorities are investigating a theft that took place early May at Sacré-Cœur Hospital. Police from the Montreal Police Service say a cache of medical equipment, estimated at about $40,000, was removed from the facility. The missing items include devices essential for patient care, though officials have not released a full inventory. Hospital administrators confirmed the loss and are working with investigators to determine how the breach occurred. The incident has raised concerns about security protocols in healthcare settings, and police have urged staff to remain vigilant while the inquiry continues. No arrests have been reported, and the investigation remains active as investigators examine surveillance footage and interview personnel. The hospital assures patients that essential services are uninterrupted despite the disruption. Appointments scheduled for the coming days are proceeding as planned, and the hospital has redirected any displaced equipment to other units.
An SUV was reduced to ashes in Montreal North on June 20th, and police are treating the blaze as a possible arson. Officers from the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal responded after callers reported thick black smoke near a residential street. By the time firefighters arrived, the vehicle was fully engulfed and the chassis collapsed, leaving nothing salvageable. Investigators said the fire appears to have been intentionally set, though a motive has not been disclosed. The fire broke out on a side street near several homes, prompting a response from fire services and uniformed officers. Case joins a series of criminal-related incidents under review by city authorities. Detectives are collecting evidence from the scene and interviewing nearby residents to determine whether the incident is linked to other recent disturbances. At this stage, no suspect has been identified and investigation remains open. No injuries were reported and vehicle was destroyed.
Toronto Scepters announced on Saturday that veteran forward Jamie Lee Rattray has agreed to a 2-year contract, adding experience to the squad as the Professional Women's Hockey League shapes its off-season rosters. In the same wave of moves, the league's Quebec-based Team Victoire confirmed the return of 2 homegrown forwards, Jade Downey-Landry and Alexandra Labelle, each signing new deals to stay with the club. Rattray, a former national team star, will bring a decade of high-level play to the Scepters, while Downey Landry and Labelle continue to anchor Victoire offensive core. The announcements come as teams across the league finalize lineups ahead of the upcoming season, giving fans a clearer picture of the talent that will compete on the ice. The league is in the midst of its off-season roster work, with clubs across the country solidifying lineups for the first full schedule of the new campaign.
On June 20th, the coalition Avenir Quebec unveiled Manuela Goya as its candidate for the Brome-Missisquoi riding. The announcement comes as the party accelerates its slate of nominees ahead of the provincial elections slated for later this year. Goya joins a roster of contenders who will vie for the region's 34,000 voters, a constituency that includes both agricultural communities and small towns. Party officials said the selection reflects a focus on local issues such as health care access and infrastructure. Voters in Brome-Missisquoi will now have a new name on the ballot as campaign activities intensify across the province. The CAQ's move underscores the expanding contest for seats that could shape the next provincial government. The emphasis on health care access and infrastructure signals issues that often affect commutes and services, from school bus routes to road repairs. As the momentum builds, media will track Goya's appearances at centers and meetings.
Let's get a look at your morning forecast with our meteorologist, right after this.
A gentle sunrise over Montreal, and here's how the day's weather will shape your morning plans. On this day, Montreal's record high reached 33.7 degrees Celsius back in 2020, a blistering mark that came during an unexpected heat wave that pushed the city into the upper 30s for several days. The coldest June 20th was 10.4 degrees Celsius, recorded in 2014 when an early autumnal cold snap draped the region in frost. By comparison, our climate normals hover around 22 degrees for the high and 15 for the low, reminding us how today sits comfortably between those extremes. Right now at 7 in the morning, Montreal sits under a thick overcast with a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius, humidity near 92%, and a gentle breeze from the east at 12 kilometers per hour. By 9, the clouds will start to break, lifting the temperature to 18 degrees and turning the sky partly cloudy. Around noon, the mercury climbs to 21 degrees as mostly cloudy conditions linger, while the wind picks up toward its maximum of 27 kilometers per hour from the west, feeling a bit brisk. In the mid-afternoon, we reach a high of 22 degrees with partly cloudy skies, perfect for a short walk. As the sun sets around 8:46, the temperature eases to 21 degrees and the sky clears to mainly clear, offering a pleasant evening. Looking ahead to the next 5 days, Sunday stays overcast with a high of 22 degrees and a low of 15, keeping the morning chill you're feeling now. Monday brings a slight warm-up to 24 degrees, but clouds thicken, and there's a 70% chance of rain, so a waterproof jacket might be wise. Tuesday clears dramatically, offering a bright sky and the same comfortable 24 degrees, perfect for outdoor plans. Wednesday remains steady at 24 degrees with partly cloudy skies, a nice middle ground between rain and sun. Thursday rounds out the stretch with another overcast day, a high of 24, a low of 17, and a 40% chance of showers, so keep an umbrella handy just in case.
Later, we'll give you traffic updates, highlight today's free stand-up comedy show, and check in on La Nadia's grand reopening. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Pont Clement is closed to all traffic this morning, forcing drivers onto St. Louis and Notre Dame bridges. Victoria Bridge runs with lane restrictions for emergency vehicles and transit, so commuters should use the Champlain Bridge or Jacques Cartier crossing. Isle aux Tourtes Bridge also has major restrictions, limiting traffic to 2 lanes each direction. Consider the 15 bypass at St. Laurent. Autoroute 520 sees minor lane reductions, but traffic remains steady. Bayers Road bus lane construction adds a few minutes near downtown. Overnight resurfacing on Route 116 between St. Bruno de Monterville and Longueuil will slow traffic into the afternoon. The Autoroute 31 and 40 interchange in Lavaltrie is under reconstruction. Expect brief delays at the merge. On transit, the Yellow Line is out for scheduled maintenance and Exo Line 55 is cancelled for track work. Bus 55 detours around Rue de la Montagne, and Bus 211 follows a detour on Boulevard St. Laurent. Allow extra time if you're using those routes.
Leia Jerry takes the stage this afternoon at the Esplanade du Centenaire along the Lachine Canal, with her set beginning at 5:30 p.m. It's a perfect way to soak up summer vibes while listening to fresh indie sounds. Classical lovers can head to the Maison Symphonique in the Place des Arts for the Schubertshade, a showcase of timeless chamber works that brings a touch of elegance to the city's cultural heart. If you're in the mood for laughter, the Orchard Pub and Grill offers a free English-language stand-up comedy show, a low-key chance to start the evening with some local humor. Looking ahead, tomorrow kicks off the KIZO Fest across multiple venues, a week-long celebration of electronic beats and dance that promises to keep the city moving. That's the lineup for today, and a reminder that summer's cultural calendar is just getting started. And now here's Tyler with sports.
A quieter sports board today, with no fresh local team update from RSS. A double trophy haul for the Canadians. Captain Nick Suzuki took home the Frank J. Selk Trophy, while Cole Caulfield was awarded the Lady Byng Trophy. The NHL announced both honors on Friday, according to CBC Sports. 2 awards, 1 team, a strong statement for Montreal's core. The PWHL has revealed the selection order for its 2026 draft, according to Sportsnet. The announcement came 2 days before the draft itself, giving teams and fans a clearer picture of how the day will unfold. Details on which team holds which pick have not yet been specified in the report. The Canadiens' playoff run is over. Carolina's Logan Stankoven scored one of 3 first-period goals in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final, and the Hurricanes eliminated Montreal, advancing to the Stanley Cup Final. That report comes from CBC Sports.
La Nadia, the women-only sports bar tucked on Rue Notre Dame in Hochelaga, is throwing its doors open again, this time with a brand-new patio overlooking the street. After a brief shutdown, the venue has returned to serve fans of hockey, soccer, and everything in between, offering a safe, lively space where women can cheer, chat, and claim the game night spotlight. Owner Fatima Boulanger says the outdoor edition lets the community enjoy the summer breeze while still feeling the pulse of the match. The reopening signals more than a fresh menu. It reaffirms Hochelaga's reputation for inclusive gathering spots where every voice is heard. That's La Nadia, keeping Montreal's spirit in play. And now, a bright note. Quebec-engineered cameras are set to soar aboard NASA's upcoming Roman telescope, showcasing our province's innovation.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From city hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMNA for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
On a crisp Saturday morning at the historic Bell Centre, the air buzzed with the echo of skates and the rustle of scarves. From the Victoire family section, reserved for the mothers, fathers, grandparents, and siblings of the 12 competing teams, watchers settled into plush seats that felt more like a living room than a stadium. The camera crew from CBC Quebec slipped between rows, capturing the quiet rituals. A dad adjusting his son's helmet, a grandmother knitting a red pom-pom for luck, a teenage sister scribbling a pep note on a napkin. When the final whistle blew and the home team clinched the Walter Cup, the roar rose not just from the arena but from the family aisle, where tears turned into cheers and strangers embraced, as if they'd shared the victory all season. In that moment, the championship felt less a competition and more a community celebration, a reminder that every goal carries the hopes of those watching from the sidelines. And that is why stories like this matter to us all.
On the steps of Place des Arts, a crowd of families, students, and seniors gathers as the spring air carries the faint hum of accordions and laughter. At the heart of the scene stands Diane Dufresne, the legendary Quebec chanteuse, who at 81 still radiates the same spark that launched her into the spotlight 6 decades ago. Tonight she will join the Ferte National Concert, a beloved tradition that turns the city's streets into a living tapestry of song. As she steps onto the wooden platform, a gentle breeze lifts the ribbons fluttering from the flag-draped poles, and a child in a red maple leaf sweater hands her a handwritten note that reads, "Your voice is our sunrise." In a surprise that has the audience holding its breath, Diane plans to unveil a melody, a piece she has kept private for years, a lyrical promise that bridges yesterday's memories with tomorrow's hopes. When the first chord trembles through the evening sky, the crowd erupts in a warm sigh, feeling the power of a voice that refuses to fade. It's moments like these that remind us how music can stitch a city together.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on the local sunrise. Tonight's highlight, Quebec-built cameras set to soar aboard NASA's Roman telescope, reminds us of our city's innovative spirit. I'm Lauren Dupuis. Stay tuned tomorrow for more stories that matter to you. Have a wonderful day and a bright future ahead.